Last year, I got to review the Gibson Mustaine Flying V, and I gotta say, I've never been more disappointed with a high-end guitar than by that hunk of crap. I mean, like $2,800 for an amateur level paint job is an absolute joke. As a consumer, I was more than a little pissed off. Well, today we're gonna be taking a look at one of Gibson's bigger competitors, and that is going to be the LTD Kirk Hammett Signature Flying V. Let's unbox this thing and check it out. Oh, look at that, it says not a Gibson. Now, before I pull this out of the box, I just want to say thanks to everybody who dropped by on Monday Mixed Reviews and requested that this video be made. You guys made it happen. And if you're at home working on your mixes, working on your music, and you need a sober second look at your mix, drop on by either Monday mornings or Monday evenings on my Monday Mix Review live stream. I'd love to check out your music. You guys made it clear. You guys have demanded to see what's inside Kirk's box. Okay, pull. Thank you, Invisible Hands. Now, this guitar came with a beautiful hard shell case. You guys are going to get a first look at it because I can't really see it from here. Let's take a look inside this. Oh my God, look at this. It's velvety inside Kirk's box. Let's see what we get. I can't even see this. Does this look cool? Oh, damn. Okay, that looks pretty sick. Let's take a look. Now, Gibson fans, please pay attention here because the one thing I don't see on this guitar are any cracks in the fucking paint job. Let's plug this thing in. Let's see what it can do. I was a little bit off-put by the color choices when I was ordering it. We had black sparkle, red sparkle, or gold metallic. It was like, yikes, 3 fruity flavors. Let me choose the lesser of all evils. And this is what we got. And I gotta say, it actually looks pretty good on camera. I was worried about this looking goofy as hell, but you know what? Not too bad. The red sparkle, though, it's like, wow, is Kirk going through a poison phase or something? I don't know. Now, before we can plug in, of course, I've got to grab the most important thing ever if you're going to demo a Kirk Hammett guitar. And by that, of course, I mean a wah-wah pedal. Because let's face it, I don't think Kirk's ever met a wah-wah pedal that he hasn't abused the living fuck out of. I'll admit, I'm a little bit nervous about doing this video because, you know, I'm reviewing a Metallica guitar. And I'm like, Metallica has been such a massively influential band. And they put out so many important records like Load and Reload and Saint Anger and Lulu. You know what? Come to think of it, Metallica really hasn't put out a good record in about 33 years. What the fuck, guys? All right. I'm sure a bunch of you guys are just sitting there furiously typing, but Glenn, Metallica made some good records after the Black Album. Really? Really? Can you name any song off Death Magnetic other than The Day That Never Comes? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Death Magnetic. Yeah, that's the authentic Metallica experience. You know, that's one thing about Metallica's long history of making music and making an impact on the record industry. I'm so glad they came along in the early 2000s and put a stop to Napster.
Better fucking believe it. So it's like so much more difficult to track down the dickless cocksuckers who try to steal our music with the motherfucking Napster. Napster, bad!
You know, you really got to hand it to Lars Ulrich for standing up and making sure that the money goes to where it truly belongs, and that is into the hands of the corporations. Nowadays, we've got platforms like Spotify, which make sure that the artists get absolutely nothing, just like what was happening with Napster. Seriously, if you're a metal guitar player growing up in the 80s, the Metallica influence was inescapable. Okay, I'll be honest, that's the only part I know of that song because it's just a wonderful finger exercise. But yeah, I gotta say, I really do like this guitar. It sits great. It feels great. I love the beveled edge right here so that it doesn't dig into your arm when you're sitting. The action's really, really good. It could be slightly better in my opinion. But yeah, it just feels awesome. Let's take a look at what this guitar is made of. All right, so we've got ourselves a solid body Kirk Hammett V featuring a Carina body, gloss finish, and black sparkle. The neck is maple. It's an ultra thin U neck shape, and the joint is neck through. Radius is 13.7 inches. Fingerboard material is ebony, and it's got this wave inlay. And I gotta say, that's actually pretty unique. Probably has something to do with the fact that Kirk is a surfer. It's got 24 extra jumbo frets, 25.5-inch scale, nut width is 1.653 inches, and the nut is made of graphite. For hardware, we've got a Tone Pros locking tune-o-matic bridge and LTD locking tuners, which is a very nice touch. For pickups, we've got EMG bone breakers in both the bridge and the neck position. It's a 3-way switch and comes with its own hard shell case, which I've already nicknamed as Kirk's Velvety Box. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm really blown away by this thing. It just plays absolutely amazing. And for $1,800, it better play amazing. Of course, that's just on heavy rhythms. Let's see how this thing sounds on leads. Sorry for the wah, guys, but it's kind of required. You can't do a lead on a Metallica guitar without wah. It's like saying Christians against Christ. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, just upon initial inspection of the guitar, I gotta say, you know, the fretwork is really nice. Somebody did a wonderful job on that. There's no flaws in the finish. I'm like, this is everything an $1,800 guitar should be. I mean, like, I'm even thinking $1,800 might be a little much to ask for this thing, especially when you consider some of the other guitars in LTD's lineup. We're gonna get to that in just a minute. But overall, though, yeah, it's a thing of beauty. I think they built a wonderful guitar. I'm just not sure if it's quite worth the price tag that they're asking. Oh, hold on. Wrong band. Right. That riff was written by the guy who used to play lead in Metallica and got replaced by Kirk. All right, now I think I'm going to be keeping this guitar in the studio for a long time coming because it plays beautifully. And there's two main features about this guitar that I really, really like. Number one being locking tuners that makes for very fast string changes. Number two is a hardtail bridge, which allows me to change string gauges and tuning and not have to worry about the Floyd going all over the place and spending 2 hours trying to get it back into some kind of playing condition. This is kind of a studio workhorse, I gotta say that. Now that I've told you what I really love about this guitar and the reason I probably am gonna hang on to it, let me tell you what I don't like about this, because I think this is kind of propaganda, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna take this right from Sweetwater's website. This is what, you know, the buying public is seeing, and I've got some issues with this. Coveted Carina tone with the sonic harbinger of true V tone. Really?
Carina, sometimes known as Limbowood, is a lightweight tonewood native to West Africa. Resonant and open, heavy sound that's a hallmark of classic V guitars. Carina's use in guitars dates back to the 50s. Countless players compared Carina to mahogany because it delivers the hard rock necessities, depth, sustain, and a complex low mid-range, but with a snappy, brighter mid-range bump that translates into a captivating presence fit for an arena. Carina also clocks in lower weights than mahogany, which makes it the tried-and-true pick for balancing the weight of jutting V-style wings.
A complex low mid-range, but with a snappy, brighter mid-range bump. What is it, a complex low mid-range or a brighter, snappy mid-range bump? That's a little bit confusing, if not misleading. Carl Sagan said that extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence. I'm seeing a lot of words, but I'm not hearing any evidence here. That kind of pisses me off just a little bit. Now, the other problem I've got with the marketing here is this. EMG Bone Breakers, Kirk's secret weapon.
Bone Breaker pickups from EMG are your ticket to dynamic metal tones with serious range. These medium-hot active humbuckers equip you with Kirk Hammett's signature sounds ranging from clean to downright brutal. Powering tone is a custom preamp tweaked to Kirk's satisfaction. The ceramic Bone Breaker in the bridge is ready to erupt with a searing gain for driving rhythms, while the mellow Alnico 5 magnets and the neck Bone Breaker offer a breath of fresh air. It's time to turn the Sorium Stadium leads.
Oh, That's a little bit wordy. Did everybody try reading that shit out loud? Holy fuck.
Between the two, players never have to trade volume for gain or vice versa. In summary, these are bone breakers, not bone crushers, with just the right amount of force to get the job done. Such balance is critical to the Kirk Hammett style, and the ESP LTD Key HV earns its bona fides with a genuine piece of Metallica's tone on board.
Those are some awfully big claims being made about the tone wood and the pickups, and it's like, oh really? Okay, well, once again, this is an $1,800 guitar, but I just happen to have the LTD Arrow on hand. Very similar guitar, maybe slightly heavier because it's not with Carina wood, but let's hear if there's any actual sonic differences going on. Now, I'm going to keep my opinion to myself for a change here. I want to hear from you guys. Did you hear any kind of massive tone shift going on? Especially one that would warrant an extra $400 price tag. I'm genuinely curious. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Now, the big disadvantage of this is it's got a Floyd on it. I just can't stand Floyds in the studio for said tuning stability issues. Yeah, they're great once you get them in, but boy, what a pain in the ass if you want to change what the guitar is actually tuned to. Now, of course, we're going to get the standard response from a lot of viewers. Oh, but glad you're using too much distortion. Yeah, because you just can't play For Whom the Bell Tolls with distortion. Metallica with distortion, what's that all about? Truth be told, guys, if you want to get the classic Metallica sound, you need one thing, and that is the Celestion G1265. Not the creamback, but the plain G1265. Yes, that is how you shift your tone. Want to give a great big shout out to the YouTuber CamCab, who had some patches for Metallica tones to download. Want to thank him so much for making those available. If you guys get a chance to check out his channel, please do. He's got some interesting stuff you can download. I don't know where he came up with the patches. I don't know if he found those online or just sharing them or whatnot, but I will give credit where credit's due. That's where I found them. I'll have a link to his channel in my video description. Go check him out. Tell him I said hi. Ah! Wow, is that ever hard on the forearm there. Massive props to James Hetfield for being able to play that shit at warp speed. That's for sure. I don't know how the hell he does it. I've been working on this for the last couple of years. I'm definitely building up the forearm muscle, but that is an aggressive pick attack. I got to say that. And he's famous for all down picking. So massive respect to Mr. Hetfield for that. Shit, I almost forgot to ask the most important question of all. Does this guitar do clean? Think so. Now, is this guitar fit for the stage as well as the studio? I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a strap on and see what this thing can do with the drop test. Okay, feels pretty well balanced. Doesn't feel like there's any kind of serious neck dive going on. Yeah, you can jump around with this and it's not going to give you any problems. Okay, let's give this thing the 5-star breakdown. I'll tell you what I think. Okay, so for packaging, I gotta give it 5 stars because it came with a hard shell case. It's a beautiful case. That might explain the heftier price tag than, say, the normal Arrows. But a $400 case, not so sure about that. As for setup, I'm going to give it 4.5. I really do like the setup. It's pretty damn good. I'd like the action down just a smidge more, and that's probably what I'm going to do after I shoot this review, is I'm just going to take it down ever so slightly. But it seems to do the chord thing absolutely fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. Great job on the intonation there, guys. No problem whatsoever. Now for components, I'm going to give this thing a 5-star. I absolutely love the hardtail bridge and the locking tuners. The EMG bone breaker, do they sound anything really different from, say, an EMG 81, 85 set? Not really, not at least as far as I'm concerned. That's not any kind of major sonic advantage. The one thing I like about EMGs, though, is the noise rejection. You can play with an amp at top volume. You don't have to worry about them getting microphonic or vibrating or any of that kind of shit. That's great, and if that's what you're after, they're absolutely perfect for the job. But I don't think they've got any inherent sonic advantage of any other high-output humbucker out there. Your mileage may vary. All I can do is do the tests and show you guys what I think. Now, for fit and finish, again, I've got to give this thing a 5-star review. I mean, geez, this is just flawless. I mean, like, the guys at Gibson could definitely take a lesson or two from the guys at LTD, because this guitar is just absolutely beautiful. I can't find a single flaw on it. Great job. And that's the whole point of Fearless Gear Reviews. Nobody at LTD knew I was getting this particular guitar. So it came in blind. I got the consumer experience. And if you drop down your hard-earned money, this is what you're going to get. So that's a big thumbs up there. Now, bear in mind, before I shot this video, I reached out to Cube Crime Management. And I did reach out to LTD as well to see if we could get Kirk to come on the show and maybe give us a few of his thoughts to see if I missed anything or anything like that. But I got this as a response. So, hey guys, I tried doing the journalistic integrity thing. So if I got something wrong in the video, hey, don't blame me. Okay, so my overall rating on this guitar is 4.875 stars out of 5. I said I would have just liked the action a little bit better, but other than that, this guitar is pretty much perfection. LTD has just been knocking it out of the park with their Vs over the last couple of years, and this one is no exception at all. Now, my main gripe with this guitar is the price. This doesn't have a Floyd, but it's somehow $400 more than this guitar. What's up with that? I'm genuinely curious about that. They're pretty much the same instrument. I mean, like, there's a slight difference in the way how the body's carved there in the V joint, but that's about it. Like, the neck feels the same, the frets feel the same. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's no. The necks are definitely feel the same radius, and if there's a difference, it's so slight, I can't tell. So the ultimate question remains, though, is the LTD Kirk Hammett V right for you? That's a question I can't answer. That's a question you're going to have to answer yourself. And the big question is going to be, should you be paying $400 more than, a suitably priced Arrow, which is pretty much going to do exactly the same thing. If you're a diehard Metallica fan, you absolutely have to have Kirk's guitar. Yeah, I'd say probably get it. But if you're just an average guitar player who's not a Metallica fanatic, maybe take a look at the Arrow. You can probably wind up saving yourself a lot of money. But again, it all really depends on your perspective, because this guitar is an absolute bargain compared to the Gibson Kirk Hammett Signature V, which is a limited run of only 200. It's going for a nice, cool $15,000. Wow. I mean, geez, I just don't understand that in the slightest. 15 grand on a guitar. If you're going to spend that kind of money on a guitar, you probably think a Dumble's a good investment as well. All right, so gotta say, as a consumer, I am quite happy with this purchase. $1,800 isn't exactly cheap, but it did turn out pretty great. So there is that. I'm much more happy with this purchase than I was with, say, the Gibson Mustaine V, that's for sure, which was like $2,800. And we got the fucking grade 2 level paint job. I mean, that guitar was a bit of a fucking joke in my opinion. Did get to check out a couple of the Mustaine Vs in Tokyo while I was there, and those looked to be in much better shape than the one I got. So hopefully Gibson learned their lesson. But my money would be on something like this. But if you're budget conscious, you might want to take a look at some of the LTD Arrows. You're going to get pretty much the same style guitar, couple minor tweaks, but it's going to be a much smaller price tag, especially for some of the other hardtail models. That's for sure. Anyway, before we go here, just want to mention that Fearless Gear Reviews is funded by you. This is so I can make consumer level purchases without any corporate fuckery and give you guys the real story of what's going on. Of course, that all happens because of Monday Mix Reviews. I broadcast in the morning and the evening live on the show. Bring me your mix. I want to help you get better results. Stop on by, send me a song. I'll be more than happy to help out. Anyway, if you guys like these Fearless Gear Reviews, please, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, hit the subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it, and I'd love to see you guys back here again. Don't forget to watch for my follow-up on the Slate VSX headphones, where I shot them out against my very, very expensive Atom monitors back here. And if you guys want to check out where the real differences in guitar tone are being made, please check out this video right here. I'll see you next time. One of these days, I gotta do that in my underwear. Now let's slide into this box and see what it's all about. Now I'm gonna pull this guitar out of here. I mean, like the guitar's been sitting in this nice, warm, moist, and velvety box.
Lifestyle determines my death style? That's the dumbest lyric I've ever heard.